So today I want to talk about something that I experienced on my twin flame journey and what I see in a lot of my clients who I work with. And this is particularly for the feminines who are on the twin flame journey who have been navigating majority of their life from their masculine energy, which means that you might be feeling anxious about life and your connection. You struggle to feel grounded and you're caught up in the overthinking, the obsession about the connection. You have anxiety around the connection or even in life. And there is a part of you that numbs and shuts down. And this is because there is a part of you that doesn't want to be connected to your lower chakras, which is your root chakra, your sacral chakra, and your solar plexus. These chakras are associated with the masculine energy. And when we have traumas, limiting beliefs, and trapped emotions stuck in our body that create misalignment of these chakras, it will make it difficult for you to connect to your body and to embody, which is to be in your body as a feminine on the twin flame journey. And if this is resonating with you and this is making you feel some sort of way within you where your body is like, yes, she's speaking to you, then I want you to join me in this week's video. And for those of you that are new, I want to introduce myself. My name is Melissa. I'm a spiritual guide, I'm a twin flame mentor, and an energy healer. I created Sacredness Within You to help support the feminines on the twin flame journey. And I'm here to support you to navigate through this journey and utilizing your journey to propel you forward into the woman that you desire to be. We all have challenges that come up within our twin flame journey. There are lessons here that are to teach us things about ourselves. And one of the most common things that I see is the feminines get caught up into what I call the shadow alchemist. And if you're wanting to know more about the 4 archetypes that I created to help you understand where it is that you are and what steps you need to take to move through each archetype, which gets you closer to that state of inner union, then I encourage you to check out my other video, because the shadow alchemist, she is designed to be able to transmute her pain into power. And she struggles with it because she doesn't understand how to alchemize things. And she can get caught up in healing and needing to do more, and struggles to become that magnetic feminine that she desires to be. And so I really focus on supporting you from those 2 archetypes and to help allow you to align to the life that you are here to live. And so in today's video, I want to talk about why your lower chakras get blocked. I want to dive into why, as feminines, we disconnect from the body. And then I want to talk about how you can start to reconnect to your lower chakras and to give you some call to actions at the end. And if this is resonating with you and this is something that you're experiencing, I want you to drop a comment down below and to share what was like an aha moment for you. What was a breakthrough where you're like, oh my gosh, I get this. Or like, this is exactly what it is that I need to hear. Because I think oftentimes we can feel really alone on this journey and not realizing that the struggles that we face, other feminines are facing as well. And also too, I want to remind you that this journey isn't a one size fits all. And some of you, it might be the completely opposite case, and that's okay. Right? Because there's uniquenesses to our journey, and not every feminine experiences the exact same thing because we're not meant to. And I encourage you to really open up your body, your energy field, to receive what it is that I'm going to share with you. And so let's talk about first why lower chakras get blocked. And this is our, like I mentioned, this is our root chakra, our sacral chakra, and our solar plexus. These are the foundations of our chakra system. And they're here to help us in terms of feeling like, I should say, like, this is where in these chakras is where you house your safety, your sensuality, your emotions, your personal power, and your sense of self-worth. These are all stored in these chakras. And for many of us feminines, we're here to rise up into our feminine power. And these centers hold deep wounds because our root chakra holds our sense of safety, our sense of stability, our sense of belonging. And if you've ever felt abandoned, rejected, or unsafe to fully land into your life, this root chakra will close up. And so you might feel anxious at times, constantly in survival mode, right? Like you're on high alert, you're constantly stressed out, or there's this part of you that doesn't feel like you can trust life or even love. And this is linked to our relationship with money as well. And your sacral chakra is where your emotions come from. This is your pleasure, your creativity, your sensuality, your sexuality. And so if you've ever been shamed for being too emotional or too much, or just learned from others that you have to disconnect from your sensuality and your sexuality and disconnect from your needs, you then start to become an overgiver, the person that tries to fix everything. And for many of you, you might even have been the emotional caretaker for a parent, maybe your mom. And your solar plexus, this is your personal power. This is where your confidence lies, where you're able to set boundaries with yourself and others if you need to. And if you grew up in environments where you were told that you had to shrink or dim your light in order to be loved, or when you were in your power, you did something that made somebody feel some sort of way that they didn't like, this power gets buried underneath like people pleasing, self-doubt, worry, and seeking outside validation and support. And oftentimes too, when these lower three chakras are misaligned, a lot of feminines are unable to hold their personal power because these are out of alignment. And we have to be able to hold that because that's our life force energy. That is what drives us forward in the physical plane, right? That horizontal movement where the upper three chakras are associated with the feminine energy. And a lot of us love to play in these chakras because we kind of are up in the clouds, right? And we're really connected to that spiritual part of things. But we have to become balanced between these two. And our heart chakra is where these two energies meet. And when we feel safe and grounded in our body and safe in expressing our emotions and our sexuality and sensuality, and we're standing in our power, all the other chakras above become more aligned. And our heart chakra then becomes a magnet for our desires. It's what allows us to open up our energy. And our energy is a powerful tool to be able to manifest and to pull in our true desires. And when those lower three chakras are blocked, you usually shut down your desires. You're not allowing your desires to to pull you forward in life, to support you in navigating this life. You've suppressed them. And so I want to dive a little bit more into why we disconnect from the body. And one of the things that a lot of people miss is that when you experience trauma, heartbreak, emotional overwhelm, your body doesn't always feel like it's a safe place to be. And your body literally keeps score of every experience that you've ever had. And many of us grew up in a time where we had parents that said, you have no reason to be angry. If you're too emotional, like they couldn't handle all the emotions, and we didn't have the tools to be able to move through these big emotions that we felt. And so we shoved them down in our body. And we buried them underneath so many things. And one of the things that I had experienced in a period of time in my journey, my healing journey, was that I worked with an emotion code, an embody code practitioner. And this man that I worked with for like on and off for like 2.5 years, he's probably pulled out close to 600 trapped emotions from my body. No joke. The biggest ones were abandonment, despair, not feeling good enough. Those were my top 3. And the amount of times that those top 3 came out are like mind-blowing. And it's really crazy to think that your body holds all of that. And these are energetic imprints of our physical body, but they can also be energetic imprints in our energy body. And because we've been conditioned to not feel and to suppress our emotions for some of us decades, like I'm 48, and I was suppressing my emotions for like 4 decades. So imagine how much was in my body and still is, right? Because there's still things that come up over time. And so we learn to leave the body, and we live in the upper chakras because the body doesn't feel safe. And we start in our upper chakras are heavily linked to things like our intuition, our spiritual insight, into fantasy and the creation of our, like, utilizing our imagination, right? And also to logic. And a lot of times we try to navigate this journey through logic. And when we're navigating our journey through logic, we're disconnected from the body. And that's really where our body speaks to us and says, this is the right next step. This is where we get pulled energetically into a certain direction. And when we disconnect from our body, we can't feel the desires that our soul wants us to experience. And we really, just as women, have been taught to survive. We are just surviving. And we're here to really, truly thrive. But when we are unbalanced in these chakras, we become ungrounded. We're reactive and we're exhausted. And I really want you to think about that in terms of your journey. How exhausted are you? Honestly. And to look at what things are keeping you in that state of survival. Because if you really start looking at it, you start to see, like, that is what feels normal to you, but it's not normal. And so in order to create that safety within you, you have to clear out and align these chakras. But not only that, to start rewiring your nervous system. And when these chakras are also unbalanced, you're constantly chasing your twin flame connection and hoping that he comes back and trying to make sense of everything that's happening in your connection. And in order for you to become magnetic, you have to feel safe in your body. And that safety lies within your root chakra. And in order for that chakra to be aligned, You have to be able to clear out the traumas, the energetic blockages that are preventing that chakra from being aligned, and to do the nervous system work to regulate your nervous system to feel safe. Because many of you don't feel safe in terms of receiving outside of your normal way of receiving. So you end up blocking things, blocking your twin flame. Some of you are subconsciously blocking them and energetically blocking them because them being in your reality and you opening up to receiving them doesn't feel safe. And some of you are blocking abundance because allowing the abundance to flow into your life from unexpected sources feels unsafe. And this is due to our conditioning, to how it is that we believe we must show up in society. And over the last few weeks, I've been really shown where I'm not honoring my true soul's path, and where I was still living my life based on what others think, or what I think others think I should live my life. And it was really mind-blowing to see this because of the amount of work that I had done in my life. And I was like, oh my God, I couldn't see this until now. And it's so exciting when I could see that, because then I could start to ask myself, how do I want to show up? How do I, Melissa, want to live my life? And when I connected to my inner child, which by the way lives and is housed in the lower 3 chakras, she said to me, I don't feel safe saying how I want to live my life. And I had to reassure her that I'm going to do what I can do to honor that. And so when we begin to really do the work that's required to balance out these chakras, that's when we get to begin to reclaiming our power, reclaiming our sensuality, reclaiming our creativity, and our ability to create what it is that we're here to experience in life. And when we clear out the energy within that, we create new foundations of inner safety, new foundations of self-trust. And we start to create this sacred structure that our inner feminine desires us to have. Because that sacred structure comes from your inner masculine. And it comes from those 3 chakras. And if you're not able to hold yourself in intensity of life, intensity of your emotions, and you tend to collapse, it's an opportunity for you to open up and explore your inner masculine wounds. And if what I'm talking about in regards to your masculine structure not being there, I have an incredible sacred download for you called Sacred Structure, to help you cultivate that within you, so the feminine can flourish. Because if the feminine doesn't feel safe because the masculine keeps collapsing, she's not going to open up. And many of you are so focused on healing the feminine that your focus really needs to be shifting in terms of cultivating healthy masculine energy within you. And a lot of times too, when things start showing up in our reality again, we think, I need to do more work. But for some of you, and this isn't for everyone, because some of you still haven't done enough work. And I know because I've been there, and I can see it within my comments on TikTok, the people that are DMing me. You haven't done enough work to actually get to the root cause of why it is that something is manifesting within you and within your reality. Others of you, you need to stop thinking that because something is showing up that you need to heal more, and you need to actually start acting and living from the version of you that is already healed, and to start doing things differently. And that comes from when you have that healthy masculine energy within you. So let's start talking about how to reconnect to your lower chakras, because it can be scary to explore these, right? And it can be scary to really start feeling how deep how unsafe, I should say, you feel in your body. And because you've been in survival mode, you haven't been able to actually feel this stuff. And so I want you to allow yourself, to give yourself permission to reclaim your feminine body. The part of you that wants to be energetically soft. The part of you that wants your body to feel soft and not so rigid and stiff. Because by reclaiming this, you are letting go of the need to force things into your life. And you're opening up to starting to devote to yourself. Because many of you are trying to do discipline when you need devotion. In my mind, like, devotion is like a healed version of discipline, because discipline is like, I do this, and this, and this, and you have a checklist. And that's a really structured way of looking at things, and that structure can actually make the feminine collapse and feel like she's being suffocated, because the feminine energy wants to flow. And when you have devotion, you have structure that says, okay, these are the things that I'm needing to do because I love myself. So for example, in the morning time, like, I will wash my face, I will put some oil on and do a lot of like self-massage in my face. And I'll do gua sha, I'll do cupping, things like that. And in the past, I was trying to do it to like correct and my wrinkles, right? Or to continue to be youthful. But what I realized was, like, that was coming from that very distorted energy. And when I started doing all of this from a place of devotion, of being like, I want to honor my body for what it is that it does for me every single day. And I want to connect to the parts of me that I don't always connect with. And by the way, your face is a smaller replication of rest of your body. And if you hold tightness in your jaw and in your mouth, that same tightness is in your lower part of your body, like your hips and your womb. And when you start to actually massage and really take care of your face and do it from this self-devotion, you start to feel it in the lower body. You start to really understand the connection that's happening within your own body. And so when I started doing this, I started really experiencing expansive shifts in my life. And I started realizing that when I did things from devotion, that it also allowed me to connect into my intuition. Because the intuition tells you, this is what I need to do next. And it allows you to navigate things in a way that feels really aligned to you, versus discipline, where it's like, this is here, then this, then this, then this. And to be able to say, yes, I need to do these things, but what feels really nourishing to me right now? What is my body needing? What is my intuition telling me that I need to do? And so let's talk about the root chakra, because a root chakra is the base chakra, and it literally lies at the base of your spine. And when that chakra is balanced and aligned, it's easier for all the other chakras to align. And by the way, as twin flames, we share a common chakra, or we share a chakra system with our twin. And which is why we feel a lot of things that our twin goes through. And also too, when we align our chakras, it helps support align their chakras. And we don't ever do this from a place of feeling I need to do this for them. No, you're doing it for you. And they're an extension of you. And so when we look at the root chakra, I want you to start with your breath. Now I want you to visualize this red disc spinning at the base of your spine. And when you breathe into your belly and down into your hips where your root chakra is. And really ground this breath into your body. And then when you exhale it out, utilize sound like a soft hum or a sigh. This allows your nervous system to say, we're safe now. And if you need to, you can place your hand in your lower belly and your pelvic area to connect with that part of your body, to allow yourself to feel safe even more. And whenever we touch our body, it allows us to drop from the mind into the body. With the sacral chakra, I want you to move like your hips. You may have to stand up for this, like move your hips. Whatever feels intuitive to you. Remember, you are not performing, you are not doing. You are honoring movement within you that feels right. And just move your hips slowly. Maybe you're doing a figure 8 with your hips. And allow yourself to feel what is rising within you. Because there's no goal. There is no outcome. It's just reclaiming your right to desire. Because many of you, if you are like me on my journey, I put my desires aside. I stifled them. And I realized that I need to allow those desires to be birthed and to be within me, because that's pulling me in the direction in my life that I want to go to. Because your twin flame journey is just a small part of your human experience. It's here to help you step into your power and to be the creator of your reality. It's our super highway to our path of ascension, but a lot of us use it as our distraction. So let's talk about the solar plexus. Let's speak about boundaries. And when we talk about boundaries, the boundaries that you need to set are with yourself, not with anyone else. Because normally what happens when you set a boundary with yourself that you are no longer willing to do something, there's going to be a natural consequence that occurs, right? And it may cause some conflict in your life. It may cause, somebody to be disgruntled because you used to be the yes girl, but now you're the no. And you're really honoring things that you're letting go of things that no longer align with you and honoring what it is that you want. But when you do these boundaries with yourself, it's an opportunity to create them from a place of love, create them from a place of self-devotion. How can you devote more to yourself? Excuse me. Because many of you are so devoted to doing things for everyone else. And our solar plexus is about healthy boundaries. It's about personal power. It's about your confidence. It's about trust. And so out loud, place your hand on your solar plexus, which is right below your rib cage, and say out loud, I choose myself. I honor my power. And this chakra responds to things like sunlight and embodied truth. It's associated with the color of yellow, where the sacral is orange and the root chakra is red. And also, too, to reconnect to your lower chakras, you have to begin cultivating healthy masculine energy. And that begins with healing your wounds and building a healthy masculine container that takes responsibility for their actions, who is accountable for things in their life, and that makes decisions based on devotion and not emotion. But not only that, you have the ability to self-lead your life. And to build a healthy masculine container, it requires you to have boundaries. with yourself. So many of you are like trying to place boundaries on the other person when it's not about the other person. Right now, it's about you. And by doing this stuff, there are small but sacred ways to say to your body, I'm ready to be in my body again. I'm ready to be the one that holds myself. And I know that navigating this can be scary. You don't have to take a deep dive in. Just start by doing little things to help tap it into your body. One of the things you can do in the morning is to put your hand on your womb, connect to your body. Ask yourself what it is that your body needs today from you. And if this is speaking to you, to your soul, and you're feeling something within you, trust in that. Trust in that knowing that what it is that I'm saying is aligned to you and here to support you on your journey. And if you're wanting to dive deeper into this, I created a really incredible sacred tool called Rooted Radiance. It includes a healing ritual that guides you back to your lower chakras so you can feel safe, you can be magnetic, and anchor into your feminine body again. And it's actually part of my sacred alchemy bundle that I offer. And in all of my sacred tools, there is a guided meditation. There are embodiment practices, there's journal prompts, and there's a mini guide to help you navigate through this. And these come with bonus materials like energy healing to help you clear away what's not energetically aligned for you. And if you're ready to stop chasing and start to receive and become magnetic by coming back home to yourself, then I invite you to explore the links below. Because this journey isn't about fixing yourself. It's not performing to get what it is that you desire in life. It's about remembering your sacredness that is within you, that's always been within you, and waiting for you to really embody that. And so I want to know what resonates with you. Like, what was like an aha moment or takeaway, and drop that down in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because every week I come out with another video to help support you on your twin flame journey. And I'm just sending you all so much love and light, and so honored to be doing this work with you. And until next time.